Is it okay now? Hello student, am I audible? Yes? Okay. They are saying no voice. Let me see. No voice, audible, no audible. Okay, all right, student. So, today, welcome to my first lecture, advanced lecture. Here I am going to discuss, you know the schedule of that. Today Kinematics 1 is there, and in Kinematics 1 I am going to cover first, okay, the detailed description of graph in Kinematics. Okay, we will take some question based on that, because mainly students feel difficulties with a kind of little bit complicated graph. Everyone know what is XT graph, VT graph and AT graph. Apart from that, we will try to take some different kind of graph which is quite important for JEE advanced level. So as advised by sir, I mean Bhaskar sir, he told me that the portion has almost completed till rotational motion, I think so. So what is my strategy? I will keep on covering whatever the topic Bhaskar sir has taught. I will take the question based on that on advanced level, and also I will try to discuss theory, okay, which is not mentioned in any, I mean like S.C. Verma book, or sir has not discussed that. That is on advanced level. Say for example, today I am going to discuss about, okay, the application of relative motion in projectile motion. Application of relative velocity, relative motion in projectile motion. That is quite important but neglected chapter, but we will discuss in details today. Apart from that, we will discuss about also questions based on say kinematics, okay, and relative velocity questions like raindrop questions or reverse swimmer questions, that will be discussed in next lecture. Okay, so today I'm going to start with description of graph. Okay, what I will do that first I will give you one question. Okay, you need to attempt that question, and when I'm going to discuss that question, the answer of that question, in between I will discuss the theory. But don't hesitate to write down, okay, whatever the doubts you have, you can write in chat box. Every 5 to 10 minutes after that, I'm going to check that. If there is any doubt, I can repeat that also. So here is the first question that I'm going to give you, and you need to solve based on graph. Okay, and after graph, we will start a question based on projectile motion or kinematics. Okay, so okay, here is the first question. I am just writing on the board. You just note down in your notebook, give some thought about this question, and then we will discuss about that. This is V versus X graph, okay, and this is straight line. This point is V naught and this is X naught, okay, and here I am going to write the question. Okay, the given graph shows the variation of velocity, okay, with displacement. Okay, which one of the graph given below okay, correctly represent the variation of acceleration with displacement. So I'm going to draw 4 graph related to that. One of them is right. This is A versus X. Okay, I think this marker I need to change it. Okay. Okay. All graph say this is B option. This is C. Just straight line below, and this is D option. Okay. So as soon as you complete this question, you let me know which option is right. Okay, and we'll discuss in details about that. Okay, and so that it could, while discussing this question, okay, I will discuss how to solve this kind of question. Okay, and how to write the equations which will help you to solve further questions. Okay, right now. Okay, option is C. Sachin Mahatre C. Okay, Aryan option C. I take your time. Don't be in hurry. Okay, it's not like a guessing game. Of course, you are appearing for. I mean, the question that I'm taking is of advanced level. Nikhil Jha C, Dipti Sen C, Abhinav Sharma A, C, C. Just type once, hers, no need to type 3 times. The best way, okay, to type is to type all the options, right? A, B, C, D, one will be right, correct? One of them will get right. Just type once A, B, C or D, not all. Okay, so I think 90% students are answering that it is C, this graph. Okay, and you can take 3 to 4 minutes for this advanced level question. For JEE Mains level, you should not spend more than 2 minutes to each question. Arif Rehan, okay, you have tried to explain, very good. Yeah, whatever I'm teaching you, okay, this is a recorded lectures. So even after lectures, you feel you could not understand some topic itself in the class. First, you try to ask the doubt. By the way, if you could not understand, you can revisit or you can see the link. But link will appear after 24 hours. Okay. So today's recording will appear tomorrow same time, 4 o'clock. Option A, Chinmay Kale, Prabhajit Singh A. Okay. Okay, Chinmay, can you tell me how did you get the answer A? A little bit. Can you, Pravijit Singh has already explained. Sir, can we explain in the chat box region of the answer? Yes, of course. I encourage you to write. Okay. See, it's writing the option is A is of course right, but you have to write little bit. I can understand. Okay. Even if you're writing a little bit, I can comprehend it. Don't worry. So, Pravijit Singh, you can, Avinav, also you can explain quickly. See, I will just, it's actually this lecture I am taking from studio, so I can't hear you, I can't listen you in this case. So what you need to do that, you need to type a little bit about all the questions, okay. I'll try to explain that later. Okay, and whatever the question that I am going to give, I'll write on the board, okay, so that it is you have time to note it down, okay, and then we'll discuss about that. Okay, in between, if you need any theory, like many students are very comfortable to solve all SC Verma questions, but they are not able to solve some advanced level question in kinematics. Okay, so you can explain or you can write little bit in chat box. Okay, which theory should I explain today? Because today is first lecture, so I'm going to take your suggestion itself. Okay, from next lecture I'll already outline what I'm going to cover. Okay, so you let me know which topics you are feeling little difficult to solve the questions. I will try to explain that. If you have not any doubts, I will give you the question and you need to solve. Okay. Okay, so let me go through the reasoning behind that. Answer A. The acceleration is negative and also constant, so answer should be C. No, Preeti, it's not right answer. Snehal has written we can take the slope and then differentiate with respect to time. What option did you get, Snehal? And then Jivik, because slope is negative. Prabhjit Singh, because velocity is decreasing and hence negative. You can't say that just velocity is decreasing, hence it is negative. It's not a complete answer anyhow. Snehal is thinking right. Harsh has written that it is C because the slope of VT graph is constant decreasing, so A is constant. No. Mayank, A equal to VdV by dx. Interesting. Okay, Mayank. So you got the answer, Mayank, by this method. A VdV by dx. Aditya, answer is A. Okay. Okay, Mayank, using this we can find it. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to discuss this question. Okay, and see, here Vx graph has been given, and you know very well that dV by dx doesn't give you any meaningful value or meaningful physical quantity. Like dx by dt, you can say it's instantaneous velocity, right? dV by dt, you can say instantaneous acceleration. But what about dV by dx? Okay, so it doesn't give you any physical quantity. Only you can say that it's a velocity gradient with respect to distance, which is you have not come across this term, velocity gradient. Maybe you'll come across in fluid chapter. So how to solve any graphical question? Basic is very clear. Snehal has already explained little bit, and I'm going through that only. Okay, she has explained that we can calculate slope first. Okay, so first you need to treat this straight line. Okay, we need to write the equation of a straight line. So whenever I'm going to give any question or any question you come across of based on graph, first you try to write equation. And what is the equation over here? So you can have a look that the slope is negative. Why? Because this is obtuse angle. Okay, so this is obtuse angle. So this slope is given by, say this is theta, then this is 180 degree minus theta. Okay, so here slope will be tan theta okay, which is tan 180 degree minus theta, you can say V naught by x naught. So will it be minus V naught by x naught? Why? Because here tan 180 degree minus theta equal to V naught by x naught. So actually slope is tan theta, not tan 180 minus theta. Okay, slope is tan theta because it must be taken in anti-clockwise direction from x-axis direction. You can have a look. So tan 180 degree minus theta is V naught minus x, but you have to find out tan theta, and this is nothing but minus tan theta. Second quadrant, tan is plus, plus minus, so minus tan theta is V naught by x naught. So tan theta will be minus V naught x naught. Or you can write mentally, okay, you don't need to write everything like this, okay, you can say like this, because at advanced level you don't have time to write everything. Quickly you can think like this, slope is negative, so minus sign and then height upon base, V naught by x naught. This is the way to think, but anyhow I have tried to explain the right way. So after that, what is the equation of this? So you know that 2-point form, this is I am going to write, I think everyone is aware about that. This is the equation, okay, of equation of a straight line. So if it is given as y minus y1, where x1 and y1 is the point through which a straight line is passing, or x2 and y2 is equation of a straight the points through which a straight line is passing, then this is called, okay, 2-point form equation. So I'm going to use that. Here you can think like this, on y-axis, okay, if you want you can mention the coordinate over here. It is passing through, okay, 0 comma v naught, and here it is x naught comma 0. Okay, so I'm giving detailed discussion. Actually, while solving this question, you don't need to write each and everything and then complete it. But anyhow, this is the first question, so I'm taking a little bit time. Okay, now you can write like this: y minus y1, where y-axis is v minus, okay, on y1. Y1 here is v naught. So v minus v naught. I'm using this first form, equal to m. Slope already calculated, into x minus x1. On x-axis it is x minus, and point on this is 0. Okay, so we could have write this equation. Okay, first step you should have written that v minus v naught equal to minus v naught by x naught, x minus 0. Another form will be, which if you want you can write like this: v minus y2. Y2 here is 0 equal to minus v naught by x naught, okay, x minus x2. X2 is x naught. So this is another way to write it. Okay, any form will give you the same answer, but I'm not going to use this. What I'm going to use this here, first one. Okay, now v equal to v naught, this will come this side, and now I'm going to open the bracket, minus v naught by x naught into x. This is the equation, v versus x equation. So if you know the value of v or x here, you can calculate the value of v over here. So you can check here whatever the value, like if you are going here x as x naught cancel out, v naught cancel out, answer will be 0. You can have a look here, it is 0 at x naught, and when x naught is 0 here, you can substitute 0 over here, and velocity is v naught. So it can give also the velocity at intermediate point, but it is not required in this question because they wanted you to draw the graph between acceleration and position. So differentiate it. This is 0 because it's a constant quantity, and this becomes v naught by x naught constant into differentiation of x with respect to t is dx by dt. Okay, so this becomes acceleration a equal to minus v naught by x naught into, okay, here you can write as a v, dx by dt is v. You can substitute the value of v, which I have written from here. You can see here the value of v. If you want, I can just draw this arrow. Okay, substitute it here. So this becomes v naught minus v naught by x naught into x, okay, which is minus, you can open the bracket, minus v naught square by x naught minus v naught by x naught the whole square, if this becomes plus, okay, into x. Check the calculation. Okay, so v naught square by x naught, okay, you can have a look. And then this is a equation of a straight line because this is in this form, y equal to mx plus c. Oh, cannot leave. Y equal to mx plus c, here you can compare like this. Okay, this is on y-axis, this is slope, and this is y-intercept. So here y-intercept is negative. So if you are going to draw this diagram, it will look like this. You have to draw a straight line whose slope is positive, because the square number is always positive, into x, and y-intercept is here negative. So slope is positive and y-intercept is negative. So this will look like this. Am I right? You can check. So this is the graph between a versus x. Here this point is minus v naught square by x naught, and here you can check by keeping the value as x equal to 0 over that, you will get the value over here. So again I am repeating this, what I am saying, this is y-intercept and this slope is positive, so this is tan theta. If I am taking this as theta, then tan theta is given by v naught square or v naught by x naught the whole square. This is tan theta here. Okay. So is this clear in this case? So this is the graph that you need to draw. So if I am going to give you the next question, you need to write the equations. Okay, try to think it carefully and then you will understand the question. Okay, this is the way to solve. So do you have any doubt? You can type in chat box. Okay, I will try to answer it individually also. Okay, now okay, so Preeti Jay is asking one question, that why didn't we take x naught as x1? See, I mean, this is point form, Preeti, just have a look. This is 0 comma, this is the first point form and this is second point. I mean the x and y coordinate, okay, x coordinate is 0, here v naught, and this is x naught and 0 in this case. See, either way you can go and you will get the answer. So you should try by your own, you write the equation in terms of x naught and 0, okay, differentiate, you will get the same answer, okay, same last expression will be the same in this case. Okay, so this is the way to solve and this is a right method to solve. Okay, so there is no guessing in this kind of question. Okay. Okay. There is a very good question that he is asking, what is his name? Aditya, na? Aditya Nambiar. Okay. Sir, can't we directly use v square equal to square plus 2as? Okay. So, I will answer this question, Aditya, but before that, I will just request all your friends to, to think about that. Can this question be solved by this approach? Think carefully. Just I am giving 2 minutes and after that I am going to explain. So, Aditya doesn't want to use integration method or differentiation method, I mean, to solve this. He wanted to use this method to solve. Okay, let's see so this is applicable or not. Okay, you got the answer? Who will answer this question to Aditya? Can you use this form to solve this question? Anyone? Okay, I am going to check the chat box. All clear? Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Clear. Yes, acceleration is no, sir. No, because you don't know the displacement. No, Ayush, this is not the right answer. We know the displacement. Harsh Dhawal is saying, sir, acceleration is constant here. So yes, Snehal is saying acceleration is not constant. Very good, Snehal. Acceleration can be variable. Ayush Singh, yes. Ayush, can you explain how this acceleration is variable? Just a little bit argument. Can you type in chat box? Arif Rehan, as we don't know acceleration is constant. You know, Arif, you know acceleration is constant or not. Check it carefully. Everything is on the board. Okay, Rohit Deshpande is saying that by Vx graph we can't say anything about acceleration. Okay, I will answer this question, Rohit. Hers double H, V is constant. Pravijit, can't use, sir, because acceleration is not constant. Yes, how? I asked you to type it here. How do you think that acceleration is variable? Quickly. Or Snehal also. Anyone? I hope I am taking student's name, not the parent's name. Okay, so everyone has to log in with your names only. Okay. Yes. Ayush, okay. So here is the answer that is this acceleration is constant or not. Here is the expression you need to see. Have a look. This is the expression. Okay, after solving it mathematically, we got this form. Is x keeps on decreasing? You can check. Yes, x keeps on decreasing from where to where? 0 to x naught for this given graph. So as x keeps on changing, so a keeps on changing. So acceleration is not constant. So you have to answer here itself. That's why this is not applicable. Got this point? Otherwise, I would have solved by this method. So I will encourage everyone to ask question like him, okay, like he has asked, can I use this or not? So whenever giving the question, you need to ask the lateral theory surrounding to the, okay, the topic that I am taking here in this case, okay, so that you could solve the further question. So now you come to know that why it's not applicable. Very simple argument. You can say Ayush, you can also say like this, we have written the equation A versus x is variable, so A is variable. Okay, this is the way to solve. Okay, so this cannot be used. Next question. Yeah, Preeti is right. Okay, sir. Now, okay. This is the graph between 1 by v, where v is velocity versus time. Okay, and one at 3 seconds it is given that velocity is 1 by root 3, and you can see this is a straight line. So this is not a graph between v versus t, it's a 1 by v versus t. Okay, and here from this graph you have to find the, no. So using the data given in this graph, it's written here, using the data given in this graph, only one data is given at 3 seconds, it is 1 by root 3. Okay, so if you want I can write here at 3 seconds, okay, v 1 by v is 1 by root 3 meter per second. Okay, sorry for this, this is inverse, so per meter second, unit is will like this. So in this case you have to find out, okay, what is the acceleration at t equal to 3 seconds. So find out acceleration at t equal to 3 seconds. I can write the question like this also. Okay. This much question is given. Okay. Everything is here. Okay. You have to extract the information from the graph to solve this question. Okay. And it's a integer kind of question. So answer should be between 0 to 9. Okay, one question Harsh Dhawal is asking. Harsh, I will explain your question. First, you go through this 1 by v by t, and then I will explain your question. Okay. Harsh has asked the question that can we say anything about acceleration just by looking at Vx graph? Of course, I am going to help you. Okay. Preeti Jay 1 by 2 root 3. Okay, I'll tell you whether it is right or not. Let other student type their answer. 'Amog Sethi answer is 1 by root 3. But I told you that it is integer questions, so answer should be between 0 to 9. Dipto Sen 1 by root 3, Aryan Kulkarni A equal to 3. Okay. Uh, 1.45 meter per second square by Mehul. Okay. Jeev. Sankalp. Sankalp, you can't use always v equal to plus 80. If you are quite sure that a is constant, then you can use. No one can stop you to use this equation. But make sure that a is constant. No, I told you the answer is integer. Till now I am getting one integer answer by Aryan Kulkarni. He has typed a equal to 3. Rest, many of you are getting 1 by root 3 or 1 by 6 or 1 by 3 only. Chinmay 1 by root 3, Ayush Singh 1 by 6. Okay, Avinav Sharma has types 3 root 3 by 2. Okay, I will come back to that, whether this is right. Am I audible? I am not in front of camera, but because I am reading in chat box whatever you think you are typing. Himanshu Padil 3. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to explain that. First you mark this coordinate point. Okay. 3 comma 1 by root 3 and write down the equation of this straight line. Y equal to m in y minus y1 equal to m times x minus x1, where x1 and y1 is any point on the straight line. Only one point is known. This use this y in place of on y axis. You can have a look. The given quantity is 1 by v, so don't write v here. 1 by v, and y1 is 1 by root 3. You can have a look here. That is equal to m, slope. I hope now you know how to find out the slope mentally. Okay. So what is the slope of this line? You can get it. Okay. Data has been given to you. Okay. Anyone? Did I miss anything? Just let me check. Photo. Okay, I missed one data over here. That's why this one is 45 degree. I'm sorry for this. Without this, it could not be solved. Last time we don't need it slope because 2 points has been given, so we can calculate by our own what is the slope. Here only 1 point is given, so you cannot calculate slope until or unless 2 points has been mentioned in this case. So slope is given by y1 minus y2 upon x1 minus x2 or y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Here only 1 point is given, so 45 degrees is mentioned. So I'll give you some 2 minutes more to solve this question. Yeah. So your slope is now -1. Why? Because you must measure this from anti-clockwise, which is 135 degree. Tan 135 is -1. Or directly by looking at that, you can say that slope is negative. Tan -1 in this case. X, on x-axis t is mentioned, so you have to write over t over here, minus, okay, coordinate point of t, that is 3 here. So this is the way you should have written this question, this one directly, but I forget to mention that what is slope. Without that it could not be solved. So 1 by v equal to, now you can have a look that this will go this side, it will become 1 by root 3 and minus t, minus of minus plus 3. Okay, so this is the value we got. We can differentiate this with respect to t. So this becomes differentiation of 1 by v with respect to t equal to, okay, this one is 0, this is -1, differentiation with respect to t is 1, and this is 0. Okay. So what is differentiation of this? You can use chain rule, d of 1 by v of dv into dv by dt equal to -1. Okay. So I am differentiating both sides with respect to t. Differentiation of 1 by root 3 and 3 is 0 because they are constant, and differentiation of t with respect to t is 1, and this is a chain rule I am going to use. This is -1 by v square. Can I write it directly? I hope you remember. Differentiation of 1 by x is -1 by x square, so 1 by v square into dv by dt is a. Okay, this minus minus cancel out, so a equal to v square. So here a is v square, and v at because they are asking what is acceleration at t equal to 3 seconds. So first calculate what is velocity at 3 seconds. Velocity at 3 seconds is directly mentioned, which is here 1 by v equal to 1 by root 3. So velocity at, okay, root 3. So this will be root 3 the whole square, which is equal to 3 meter per second square. This is the value. Okay, so I hope you understood this question. If you have any doubt, you can ask, and then I'll answer that question, that just by looking at the graph 1 by v and t, can we get about any hint about acceleration or not, like some student has asked. First, you have any doubt, you can ask it here, and then I will explain this. Okay, in terms of, okay, just by looking at the graph, what can we interpret from this graph? Okay, so Avinav Ganesan sir, I am not understanding when and why to differentiate. See, to calculate acceleration, okay, you need dv by dt, and this graph is between v and t, and here you can see that v is variable, okay, because we have getting here v 1 by v as this. So v is given by, though it's not required, but still I'm writing here, v is given by 1 by 3 plus 1 by root 3 minus t. So as t is variable, v is variable, okay, so there must be an acceleration. That's why you need to differentiate. So first student is asking question, how do you know that you need to differentiate this question? Of course, if I'm asking question is itself asking what is acceleration, and vt graph is given, first thing comes in our mind, if I'm able to get the value of v in terms of t, then I can get the value of acceleration. And how can you get the relation between v and t? Of course, the graph is given. So you can use the, okay, straight line equation, and you can solve this question, and you got the answer here as 3 meter per second square. Okay. So you come to know v is variable here, so acceleration is also variable. How acceleration is variable in this case? Because v is variable, so a is variable here. V is variable here because t is changing, so v is changing, so a is changing. So here you cannot use the formula v equal to u plus at, s equal to ut plus half at square. All three kinematical formulas you can't use in this case. Okay. Any other question? Let me take. Okay, sir, I am getting equation as a is minus 3 1 plus root 3 minus 3t. Oh, check it. Mehul, you just check the equation. I have written everything clear on the board, and let me know where you are going wrong. Preeti is asking that which book can be, okay, referred, or which book should we take to solve this kind of question. Okay, So actually this kind of question is given in CL booklet, at the end of CL booklet. Also these are the question from say previous year, or you can say that old advanced level questions, okay, that I have taken in this case, and few questions from myself. Like just before that one, that graph, okay, I have just we need to, okay, design, we need to make questions for examination. So I remember some good questions, so I am sharing with you in this case. Okay, if you need it, okay, I will give you. Okay, not now. When I'm going to complete rotational chapter, I will try to provide one book, okay, based on your performance in advanced examination. Okay, but right now you should refer to the old questions of JEE Advanced of kinematics. Okay, you can buy, you can get the question bank, okay, on internet. You can download it, okay, or you can follow the last section of CL booklet. There is also advanced level question, and I will also share some question, okay, if needed. I will share with you in the, okay, on Telegram group. Okay, so here is some question. Sir, is it possible that we draw the new graph with V versus T? Okay, can we take a V versus root 3 directly? Can't we take V as root 3 directly? Yeah, you can. 1 by V equal to 1 by root 3, or if you can take. Prabhjit is asking, what I'm asking, sir, about, sir, first look at LCM and cross. Here is, sir, will it be possible that we again draw a new graph with V and T? Harsh Dhaval, sir, will it possible that we draw the graph with, will you just please share that? Sir, will it be possible to again draw a graph? Okay, so everyone is asking this question, can we draw the graph of V versus T? If you want, you can draw. Here I have written the equation, but you can't avoid the equation. If you are going to write the equation, you come to know how does the graph look like. So to draw the graph, at least you should know how the V and T are correlated. Here V, T is in denominator. So you need to draw the graph. Okay, if you wanted to draw the graph between V and T, it will go like this. But you can't avoid writing the equation, I'm telling you. If you are trying to avoid writing the equation, okay, then you cannot solve the question. That's why I wanted to teach you in the class. Okay, there is no shortcut for advanced examination. You need to write everything. So, and they don't ask any question which, okay, formula based question in advanced exam. So look, have a look how to draw the diagram in this case. What is asymptotes here? Asymptote means the value where, okay, this denominator will become 0 at t equal to 3 plus 1 by root 3. This will cancel out. Okay, so here this will be asymptotes. You can draw. Maybe I'm using some advanced term I should not use. We can think like this. Don't let the denominator 0. At what term it will become 0? 3, 1 plus 1 by root 3. Okay. At this point, if this value t is just greater than that, it is go to infinity, and as t is increasing over here, okay, this keeps on decreasing. Check. At t equal to 0, answer is 3 plus 1 by root 3, 1 by this much in this. So at t equal to 0, this is the value you can write. Okay, just a minute. Okay. So I'll just make it very simple. I don't want to go by any advanced technique to draw this graph. What I will do here, I'm just going to substitute the value, that's all. Time cannot be negative. Time start with 0, so start with 0. First value is 1 by 3 plus 1 by root 3. somewhere here I have marked. So I am transforming between V to T graph. From 1 by V to 1 by T graph, I am changing into VT graph. Okay. So 1 by 3 upon 1 by root 3 plus minus T. First I am taking T as 0. I got this value which I am writing here. If you want, you can write over like this. Okay. And marker. बोल दिया था, कहाँ दिया था? Okay, all right. So now increase this value, keeps on increasing, like at 3 seconds, 3 will cancel, it will be root 3 and so on. So by taking 1 or 2 value, you know that it is a graph like this, but where it is not defined, exactly at this time. Okay, so here it will reach to infinity. At what value? Almost 3 plus 1 by root 3. And what is the value of 1 by root 3? Root 3 by 3. And what is the value of root 3 by 3? 0.58. 3 plus 0.58. Have a look. 1 by root 3 can be written as root 3 by 3. Okay, which is 1.732 by 3, which is 0.58. So 3.58 it is, okay, going to be 0. So here it will be T. Okay, so it keeps on, as T is increasing, this is decreasing, you know, so it keeps on increasing. So this is the value that keeps on increasing, and here it will become infinity. So this is the graph for this question. Have a look how. Again I am explaining. At t equal to 0, this is 1 upon 3 plus. As t is increasing, denominator keeps on decreasing. So overall v keeps on increasing. So that's why graph is going up as a curve, not a straight line, because this is in 1 by x form. Okay, and then as soon as it reaches to t equal to this value, 3 plus 1 by root 3, I should have written like this here. Here I am using the word asymptotes. Asymptotes means where denominator becomes 0 in this case, or a curve which is intersecting the line at infinity is also known as asymptotes. So have a look. Here it is going like this, and it becomes, it's not going to intersect it, it will intersect it at infinity. So this is a graph versus v versus t. But why do you need to draw this graph? Okay, instead you should have write the equation, and you know that you have to get the acceleration, so dv by dt. And the question is solved in this case. Okay. And if you look at this, let me tell you quickly that just many students asking, by looking at the graph without writing the equation, what thing can we understand by this graph? Maximum you can say like this. Two things you should remember, that 1 by v, d of 1 by v upon dt, that is dy by dx form, is slope. Slope means tan theta. Okay, so here on y axis it is 1 by v, so d upon 1 by v upon dt. Okay, it doesn't give you acceleration. Okay, what does it give you? I am going to tell you. So you can say that here slope, what is the meaning of slope? If someone is asking that without writing anything equation, can you tell me 1 by v versus t, okay, what is the meaning of slope? Does it give any physical quantity? So you can explain like this, कि slope is given by dy by dx, on y axis it is 1 by v, and on x axis it is t. And then you know that this differentiation, many students can solve this differentiation mentally, I am sure. How? Because 1 by v differentiation, you know that 1 by v square into dv by dt, chain rule. Okay, so dv by dt is a. So you can say like this, that the slope gives us a value of a by v square. Okay, so it's just giving you this data in this case, which I have just now used to solve this question. Okay, so you can say like this, that slope has a meaning of a by v square maximum, and area, what does the area gives? So area is given by y dx, on y axis it is 1 by v, and on dx it is dt. So t by v doesn't make any sense, so you can say that area doesn't give us any meaningful physical quantity. Okay, so you can say that this area has no meaning. If you are going to calculate the area between this, it's a dt upon v, time upon velocity, which doesn't give you anything in this case. Okay, here physical meaning is also not so meaningful, you just a by v square it gives us. So many graph doesn't gives you, okay, hint about, okay, direct answer like how to draw it between a and v versus t, a versus t. There is no shortcut, you have to write the equation and then you can draw the graph. And this is the graph someone has asked, I have drawn for you. I hope you understood it. Okay, next question, or you have any doubt you can ask. Okay. So next question is also interesting. You should try this. This is a JEE advanced question. Okay. So I have taken this from old question papers. I mean, previous year's question paper. Okay. A ball is dropped vertically from height d above the ground. It hits the ground and bounced up vertically to a height d by 2, to a height d by 2, so half of the height. So it's not a elastic collision. You know that if a ball is dropped from same height, it will reach to your hand at the same height. That means it's a elastic collision. It's not required any concept of elastic or inelastic collision. It's mentioned that ball is dropped from height d and reaching up to d by 2. Okay. Its velocity v varies with height h above the ground, ground edge. So there are 4 options. You need to think carefully. Option A, so it's which year this came I don't remember, but I feel it's a good question, that's why I'm taking. B, and here it's mentioned V versus H, and so this is D and this is D by 2. This is D, this is D by 2. Arrow sign is important. C option. So d by 2, of course v versus h, d option. Okay, so okay, all right, I'm not missing anything, I hope so. Okay, all right, so solve this question and let me know the answer. Take 2 to 3 minutes. सार्थक, what things you cannot comprehend? आपको क्या नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, आप मुझे बताइए. सार्थक, आप प्लीज यहाँ पर टाइप कीजिए कि आपको क्या नहीं समझ में आ रहा है ना. ऐसा नहीं बोल सकते मुझे कुछ भी नहीं समझ में आ रहा है. आप ये बोल सकते हैं सर आपने डिफरेंशिएशन किया, मुझे उसमें चेन रूल नहीं समझ में आया. आप ऐसा करके मुझे लिख के बता सकते हैं. हाँ, निखिल झा, यू कैन यूज दिस v स्क्वायर इक्वल टू स्क्वायर, क्योंकि इसमें g जो है ना वो कांस्टेंट है. ओके, सो आयुष सिंह इज सेइंग इट्स ऑप्शन बी इज करेक्ट. सार्थक, could you please type over here what you can't comprehend? Okay, so Shreyas has mentioned that this question was there in CL test of kinematics. Okay, it's good, then I can explain it better. Okay, right. Option is, since this question was already asked in exam, so you are aware about how to solve this question. Okay, but still I will just explain, okay, a little bit about this. Okay, so generally I advise a student, okay, to remember one graph always, okay, which can help you to comprehend the graph quickly. Other graphs, I mean. And generally I take the example of a stone being thrown. I'll just discuss this question. So I'm just discussing something related to this also. And what is that? XT graph when a stone is being thrown from ground to ground. So it goes up in air, at maximum height stops momentarily and then comes down. So what happens? Okay, so if you remember this case, how to draw the graph, okay, graph of a stone when being thrown in upward direction in straight line, okay, then quickly you can, okay, understand how to draw the other graph. So it's my advice to all of you that, okay, you remember this graph. Ground to ground, a stone has been thrown, in which it's not a projectile motion, it's in a vertical line. So you can see that as the stone is being thrown, okay, it's going up. So velocity is upward and gravity is downward. So whenever a stone is being thrown and velocity is upward and gravity is downward, okay, that means, okay, it's a deceleration, retardation. So somewhere it will stop. But during this, it will go to some height. So it will keeps on, its height keeps on increasing, x keeps on increasing, okay, but after certain height, at maximum height, it stop and comes back. So this is the graph that you should memorize, okay, which will help you to understand other graphs also easily. So many students now get confused that xt graph, how it could be a curve, you are throwing the stone in a straight line, so it must be a straight line graph. It's not like that. It's a displacement versus time graph. So here whatever I'm drawing is how displacement is changing with respect to time t. I'm not drawing the graph for path. Okay, so don't get confused that this is the diagram of a path followed by the stone. Okay, so I'm going to explain a little bit quickly here that what does the graph, meaning of this graph, okay, and what does it tell. Here you can say that this graph is increasing, and this is called, okay, slow increasing graph. This is fast increasing graph. You can have a look. This is fast increasing graph. This is slow increasing graph. This is slow. This is fast. And similarly here, this is slow decreasing graph, and this is fast decreasing graph. This is fast decreasing graph. So you should know the, okay, differential or meaning of calculus for this 4 graph. Okay, always keep in your mind while solving the question that if it is fast decreasing, fast increasing, always double differentiation is, okay, greater than 0. So sir has already explained, that's why I'm writing this. Okay, so maybe some students are not very comfortable because maybe I'm not going from the basic, I'm not teaching you again and again. What I'm doing that, I'm just helping you to recall some important point to solve advanced question. Okay, if you are not comfortable with my lecture, you can go through the notes of sir, NCERT, or you follow NCERT book or SC Verma book. Once you feel comfortable, you can join my class. Okay, but here you need to, okay, solve some question before coming to my class. My class you just can't enter and then solve all the questions. It's not possible because I'm teaching on advanced level. Like Sarthak has said that मुझे तो कुछ पढ़ाई समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा है. अरे आप पढ़ के आओगे घर से तो समझ में आएगा ना, किसी तरह आपको समझ में आएगा बैठे बैठे, है ना. कुछ अटेम्प्ट, कुछ ट्राई तो करना चाहिए. चलो. So here what I'm saying that you should, every student should remember the differential meaning of this graph. This is called fast increasing, this is called fast decreasing. In both case, double differentiation is 0 and, okay, greater than 0. So what is the meaning of this? Fast means double differentiation. So single differentiation means dx by dt, which is velocity. Double differentiation means dv by dt, which is acceleration. So once you differentiate position, okay, 2 times, it gives you acceleration. So this is a is greater than 0. And here a is also greater than 0. That means a is positive. Am I right? Now, slow. In both case, whether it is increasing or decreasing, it doesn't matter. This is less than 0. Okay, so don't get confused that if it is slow, it's increasing or decreasing, so it should be greater than 0. No. Slow word means lesser than 0. And this is fast means greater than 0. So this is the basic meaning you have to remember. Got it? So based on that, I can just have a look at one question that I wanted to see how many of can answer this. Say if x is 3t square 3t minus t square, then at what is the acceleration? Okay, is this at t equal to 0? Question is, at t equal to 0, is it accelerating or retarding? Okay, you need to answer this question. So those who don't know this, you can note down this, that fast means this one, and then I'll come back to this graph. But before that, I want to check this concept. Do you know that not? X versus t equation has been given, and you need to find out, okay, whether this is accelerating or not accelerating, retarding. Just you can do it mentally, no problem. You know how to differentiate mentally, right? Dx by dt, 3 minus 2t. Keep on doing mentally. Okay, so you have decided. I'm just rubbing this part. Okay, so you are saying it's retarding. Okay, it's good that many students are answering very quickly. I'm happy with that. Okay, so you are saying that it's a -2, so it's a retarding. Do you think that it is always retarding? So I wanted to come back to this question. Do you think that it is always retarding? What is happening at t equal to 4 seconds? Try this and quickly type. Or will you say that no, -2 is there, so it's retarding? Rohit Deshpande is saying no. Okay. Okay. Ayush Singh, no. Prabhajit, no. So what is happening at 4 seconds? You need to answer. Okay, so Arif Rahman is saying that Rehan is saying that acceleration is constant for all values of t. Okay, it is independent of time. Okay, Sanket Saha has said a equal to -2. Okay, acceleration towards negative direction. Ayush Singh. Yeah, Mehul, you are right. First, I got the right answer from Mehul. Have a look. First, you differentiate. So this is V. And again, you know, differentiate, which you can do mentally at this stage. Okay. That is true that A is always -2. That means in left hand side it is 2 meter per second square. Now I'm not writing minus because here A is in your left hand side notation. Minus sign doesn't mean deceleration. Minus sign means direction of acceleration. Acceleration is a vector quantity. It means it is 2 meter per second square to your left hand side, you can say. So here at t equal to 4 second, V is 3 minus 2 into 4 minus 5. So V is 5 meter per second. You can have a look. So both they are in the same direction. So it's a case of acceleration. It's a case of acceleration, and it will be the case of retardation at t equal to 0. Why? Because at t equal to 0, V will be 3 minus 2 into 0. Just substitute the value over here, 0. It is 3 meter per second. So this is 3. V is 3 meter per second. And A is always to your left hand side 2 meter per second square. So here it is retardation. So I hope I try to make it clear. Maybe it's very clear to many of you, but still that minus sign doesn't mean that it is always retardation. So what question you should ask before saying minus sign is there? You first ask what is the direction of velocity? Is it in the same direction of acceleration? Then it is acceleration, otherwise it is retardation. So this thing that I wanted to discuss. Now come back to this. Here you can have a look. Dx by dt, you draw a slope at any line here over here. You can see that slope is this. Slope means dy by dx. Here on y-axis it is x, and x-axis it is t, which is v. So your slope gives you v, and your slope is positive. Why? Because it is acute angle tan theta positive. So in this region, anywhere slope is positive. That means velocity is in positive direction, upward direction or to your right hand side. Since I am talking about a stone that is being thrown in upward direction, so this is upward direction. So up to this region V is upward direction, and it is a slow graph. You can see just now I explained that. Slow means double differentiation is less than 0. है ना. Here on y-axis it is x and this is dt square. So that means acceleration a is less than 0. So in this region a is less than 0 and slope is positive. So v is upward and g is downward because a is less than 0. So that's why this graph look like this here. Correct? That's why it stop at the highest point. This is maximum height. And after maximum height, okay, it will come down. So you can see once the stone is coming down, what is happening here? Velocity is downward and acceleration is also downward. Just by experiment you can do that, it is coming down. So here also by slope method you can explain like this. See, if I am going to draw the slope over here, this is negative. What is this here slope? Negative. Obtuse angle, of course. And since it is slow word is used, whether it is slow increasing or slow decreasing, so a is less than 0. So this v is downward and a is downward. A means g here, whatever. So here both are in the same direction. So here it is accelerating, and so it will come and hit the stone on the ground. While solving the question, many students make a mistake here that they think that once the stone is being thrown from building, okay, when it comes to the ground, its velocity becomes 0. You cannot take this assumption to solve some question. This is a common mistake generally students are doing. Once you are throwing the student from some height, okay, a student will hit hard at maximum velocity to the ground. And after hitting the ground, does it stop or not, it is not our concern, because you are talking about, okay, effect of gravity on that stone which happen in mid-air. Okay, so these are in downward direction, this is upward and this is downward direction. Okay, so this is a graph that can help you, okay, to draw this. So remember this, v plus g minus look like this, and this is both are in the same direction, look like this. So you can solve any kind of question based on that. Just you need to memorize this graph. Okay, so here we will, I will discuss quickly. I told you some important point. I told you that when I am going to discuss some question related to graphs, okay, I will tell you, okay, some important point which I had just now explained. Okay, let's see this point. When the object is dropped, okay, velocity is downward and gravity is working. So both are in the same direction. Just now I have drawn a graph both in the same direction like this here. Okay, so starting from height d, see this is the d height. Okay, velocity is in downward direction. See this is the region where velocity is in downward direction, minus I am writing. So any point here you can have a look, velocity is in downward direction. Okay, so is it clear now? So d is here, v is at any point is negative, and gravity. Okay, so velocity and gravity, okay, in this case is in the same direction. So this curve look like this, like here I told you, have a look, just in opposite direction because it's drawn from in this direction, negative direction. So you can think in this way, have a look. And then, so it need not be a straight line, as you know that between v and h, okay, what is the equation? Even if you cannot recall by this one, there is another way, v square equal to u square plus 2as. Okay, so velocity, once you drop that, okay, v square and initial is 0 when you are dropping the student from height d, 2a g and here h. Okay, so here v is root 2g into root h, so v is proportional to root h. So it's a curved, or you can say like this, v square is proportional to, okay, h. So it's equation. So one of the parameter is square and another has only power 1, so it's a parabolic graph. So you can say it's a parabolic graph. So d, and then here it's a going in this way. It will hit the ground. Just before hitting the ground, velocity will be maximum in negative direction. When it is going to hit the ground like this, it doesn't stop. It go and hit it, okay, hard in this case to the ground. So this is the maximum velocity, but it is in downward direction. So this is minus maximum velocity. And after that, it rebounds. It takes some time while collision. That is not mentioned in this question. How much time does it take to rebound? Quickly it rebounds. Now it reaches, okay, to upward direction. Okay, but up to what height? D by 2. Now while coming up, you know that the graph v is downward, v is upward and g is always downward. So have a look at this diagram. So it reaches to d by 2 and here it is velocity becomes plus. Instantaneously it becomes plus. Okay, now let me tell you that in this graph the magnitude of this is not equal to this. Why? Because it's reaching to half of the height, so velocity has become lesser than this. So accurate graph would have been if it will be drawn from here. Okay. Why? Because this is more, okay, say it's hitting by 5 meter per second, 10 meter per second. While coming back, rebounding, its velocity won't be 10 meter per second. Okay, it will be lesser. How much? You can use this equation. You can have a look how much. Okay, in terms of root. So here it will reach. Okay, here in this case, velocity will be lesser than this root 2v, whatever, and then it will reach to d by 2 height. Okay. So now what is happening? While coming down, you can see that v is still positive because it's going in upward direction. And when it's reaching to d by 2, here it becomes stop. So here velocity becomes 0. So arrow sign will go like this because suddenly here velocity. So this is transition point, and from here to here instantaneously it changed the direction from negative to positive and reached to d by 2. That's why this graph is right. Okay. Correct. Rest you can, okay, you cannot take because region you understand it better in this case. So direction is very, very important, and you come to know that this is parabolic graph in this case. So JEE Mains level graphical questions are based on generally, okay, not on equations. They are based on this fast, slow, which Bhaskar sir has already discussed. Okay. And in advanced level, you have to write the equation of the graph in this case, or if it is not given equation of the graph, okay, they will mention it. Okay, but there is no shortcut to solve any advanced questions. You need to write it completely. Okay, now after this, okay, so we will take a break at 5:30, I think so. Okay. See, after explaining the question, of course, I'm going to take I'll read the chat box. Don't feel bad for that. Yeah, velocity is increasing. Can you repeat the last part, sir, please? Sir, please read the chat. Okay, if square is involved, as you dv square proportional to height, graph is parabolic. So what is the importance of arrow here? Okay, so he wanted me to discuss, okay, the subsequent motion of v versus h. Okay, so I will explain. Okay, say this duster is here, okay, which is at height d, and I'm dropping it. So you can see that it's going down. So velocity and g both are in the same direction. And what is the height d? So first we will mention here that what is the height, since it is given on x-axis, so I am writing here d. So our motion is starting at d, and at d what is the velocity? 0. So see this is d comma 0. Means velocity is 0 and height is d. So this is the point, starting point. So I have explained now what is starting point. While it's going like this, subsequently, okay, velocity keeps on increasing. Okay, so velocity will increase, but in which direction? Since it is going down, okay, so it will increase in this direction. This is the negative side of velocity, minus v. So once it is height d, it is going down, its velocity keeps on, okay, increasing. So in negative direction it is increasing. Now why I cannot draw this straight line? Okay, so for this we need to know what is the correlation between v and h, and it's quite simple. V square equal to e square plus 2s. Final velocity or v at any time t or s h is given by initial velocity is 0 plus 2 into a into h. So v is root 2 ah. Just you write in this form, v square equal to 2ah. Okay. So initially, okay, the velocity was 0, and as h is here increasing from this height I am taking in this case. So here what is happening? D keeps on decreasing, and when it hit the ground, D becomes 0. So when it hit the ground, D becomes 0. So D is not measured from ground to upward direction. It's starting from there, D height. So this is D point, and then you can see that here power is 2, V has power is 2, and H has 1. So what kind of graph it is? It is not a straight line. Straight line graph would have been if it is 2AH, something like this. Then it would have been a straight line, okay, passing through the origin. So this is the graph like this. Now, so this will be curved. Now why not this curved? Why not this way? Think carefully. What is the problem with this? Once it will go like this here, okay, this curve, you can check slope and everything. Here slope is negative, okay, but this is h versus v slope. Here one thing you can realize that v and h, here velocity is negative as it is coming down, and it's also increasing, okay. But one thing contradiction that is coming out to be even here, that it's intersect or it cannot become parallel like this here. Otherwise here at d equal to 0 velocity will be infinity, okay, it will be a maximum velocity. So this is called fast decreasing graph, okay, which I cannot take, and slow will be like this here because this is root h. You know that y equal to root x. Here it is slow increasing graph. As x is increasing, y is increasing, but not so fast. Why? Because here if I am taking x is 0, y is 0, but if I am taking x equal to 1, y is 1. Now if I am taking x equal to 4, then y is 2. If I am taking x is 9, then y is 3. So x is increasing, okay, more than y in this case. So here for every x, y is very less increment, so it's known as slow increasing graph. In opposite way, as y is increasing or y equal to x square, I am sorry for this, this is fast, okay. So here what is happening, that d, once you drop velocity v and h here will be a parabolic graph. This is the nature of parabola, okay, and it will intersect here and it becomes 0 instantaneously. After hitting, its velocity will become maximum. So this is minus v, maximum, okay. So here what is happening, as it is coming down, you can see that this v keeps on increasing, and here it becomes maximum, and here d becomes 0. Why? Because it is hitting the ground. So this will be the graph in this way. And now someone is asking what is the importance of direct arrow sign. Arrow sign will be like this. Once it is going like this here, arrow sign, okay, what does it mean? That starting motion is here at d and velocity is 0. When it is hitting here, d becomes here 0, okay, and velocity becomes maximum in negative direction. Now next, okay, so this is the graph correspond to this in this case, v versus h. V is root h, okay, v equal to root 2a h, if you are a at g, you know. So so initially, okay, so now we will come back to this point. Now once this hit, velocity is v here, okay, and it's reaching to height h, okay. So what is the velocity v once you are reaching here? Velocity when it is hitting the ground will be 2 into a into d to gd. Why? Initial velocity is this. So this is the velocity, okay. After hitting that, the velocity will no more root 2 gd, it will be lesser. Why? Because it's reaching to d by 2. So even they are not asking in this question how much velocity is required, but you can calculate by your own. Let's see how. Say after hitting the ground, this is the velocity v just before hitting the ground, and after that it has a velocity, say v1. How much is that velocity v1? You can have a look. v1 is given by, okay, so v square equal to square plus 2s. I am going to use this formula. V square is 0 because anyhow at d by 2 it becomes 0, velocity becomes instantaneously 0. Initial velocity is this velocity v1 square. After hitting the ground, its direction has changed. It's downward and it's upward. So this is v1. I'm talking here v1. So at that instant, let's see what is the value of v1 by this way. Minus 2gh, why? Because it's going in opposite direction, gravity is downward, velocity is upward, so minus sign, 2 into g into d by 2. Okay. Why? Because it's reaching to height d by 2. So v1 square is gd. So I told you that time directly I used that is root 2 times more than this. This is root 2 times lesser, but now I have proved it for you. Okay. They are not asking mathematical aspects, and that's why I didn't explain that. So root gd in this case. So once it is hitting the ground, velocity is root 2 gd, and after hitting the ground, its velocity is root 2 gd, then it will reach up to d by 2 height. So that's why I told you that this value is more than this. This is root 2 times lesser than this. You can check, I have written here. So it will go from here. Now v1, and here the value is v1, and what is height? D equal to 0. Still d is 0. Why? Because it's just not raised to height d by 2. So slowly what will happen here? It will increase, but in which way it will increase in this case? Because gravity is opposing it, so in this case velocity keeps on decreasing, and in this way it will go like this here, symmetric to this. Okay, only this is bigger graph, but it will be looking like this in this case, and up to here d by 2 it will reach and stop. So this will be, and here velocity v equal 0. So here I have explained that what is the importance of arrow sign. You can check, and here is the expression for that. Got it in this case? Okay, so should we take break now for 15 minutes? At v1 equal to, at v1 d height h is 0. Okay, why? Because it is still at the ground. Here is the object. Here h is 0, but velocity is there. Okay, and don't forget that at the highest point, okay, velocity becomes 0, but gravity not. Okay, this is one objective question generally they can ask, that once the stone is being thrown in air, okay, do you think that at highest point, okay, a is 0 and v is 0? Answer is g is not 0. G is always there downward. A is okay, so acceleration is non-zero, only velocity becomes 0, because students think that v0, so differentiation of v, a becomes 0, dv by dt. Okay, so it will be wrong in this case. So remember that point. Similarly here, once it is going to hit the ground, okay, height gained by the object is 0, and velocity is v1, which is root gd, which is root 2 times lesser than this. That's why it goes to half of the height. So you can't say that velocity becomes half, then it will go to the half of the height. Okay, don't keep this, don't make this mistake. Okay, you have to say like root 2 times, then it will reach to that. That's why I need to prove it. Any other question? Okay. Okay, we are going to take break now. 15 minutes from now. It's 5:39. So we will start at 5:45. 5:55, I mean. Welcome back, students. Okay, so till now we have discussed about minute details of graphical theory or graph related questions, you can say. And now we are going to take some advanced level question based on projectile motion. And after solving these one or two questions, I will give you a theory based on relative motion in projectile. Okay, so before I could tell you how to solve, before I could give you those two questions. Okay, I will let you just going to explain a little bit about motion in one dimension, a relative approach in motion in one dimension. After that, two questions, and then we will discuss relative motion in projectile motion. ठीक है, तो पहले हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे कोलिजन क्वेश्चन in one dimension. Okay, because this is related, I mean collision question in one dimension motion means the object has been thrown in same line. So when and where they are going to collide, whether they are going to collide or not, all these questions we need to know. So this kind of question ultimately will come to know that can be solved mentally. Okay, here I am going to give one question first, motion in one dimension, and then after discussing this theory, few questions based on projectile motion. Here is a question that, say this is a tower having height 60 meter. So this is a tower of height 60 meter, and from the top of the tower an object A or stone A has been thrown up at t equal to 0, both. The time start as soon as the stone is thrown in upward direction with initial velocity 35 meter per second. Another stone is also thrown up with a velocity 40 meter per second. Okay. So here we need to find out at t equal to 0, say stone B A, when and where, that means time and position, these two objects will collide. This is the question you need to try. But before you could try, I will just give you all the possibilities. You can see that the velocity given here is 40 and here 35. So once they have been thrown in the same direction, chances are that it will hit it while both are going up. First case. Second case, they can hit if this object is at the highest position, so it will hit at the highest position possible. I am telling you the situations. Or it is possible that this will go up and while coming back it will hit while it is going up. Third possibility is fourth possibility is while this will go up and while coming down, this is also already written, so both are hitting both are going in downward direction. So many possible cases are there. Again I am repeating, what is the possible case? They will hit while going in upward direction, they will hit at the highest point. 2, they will hit when one is coming down and one is going up, and they will hit while both are coming down. These are much cases are there, but how to solve this question mentally is a challenge for you. But first you try to solve it by your conventional method. Later I will let you know how to solve this mentally. Have a look. Solve this. 2 minutes, 3 minutes is sufficient for this solving this question. can take the value g as 10. Okay, Amok Shetty has answered 12 and 240. Are you sure it's 240 because the height of the tower is 60 meter? Can they reach up to 240 meter? Jivalak. Uh, 5 by 4 meter, okay. It is possible that maybe both of them are at the ground, or one of the particle is at the ground and then hitting another. You got what I'm saying? It is possible that one particle is already at the ground and then second one is hitting at the ground. I wanted to know, will they hit in mid-air, in air itself? Air, okay. Got it. Anyone else? Okay, so here say that they are colliding here, somewhere here. I am making two cross A and B, and I don't know whether they are going up or going down, but they are at the same position. So in collision, you should know that two things are common to them. First, they have the same position or same height from the ground. Okay, and second thing, that time is same. They cannot collide at different time, right? So these two things you should keep in your mind, that their time and position will be the same, but we cannot decide now whether it is going up, going down, it is the highest point. Okay, but I have taken this at h height from the tower. So from the tower it is height h. So conventional method is like this. You need to write the equation for both in vector form. Now let me tell you, this is called vector form. There are three vectors: displacement, initial velocity and acceleration. When to use vector form and when to use a scalar form, I will just, sir has already taught you, but still I will remind you, okay, that many students ask when G will be positive, G will be negative, but at advanced level you should not get confused at this point. Okay, let me tell you. When to use a scalar method? A scalar method means when to use G as minus 10 or plus 10, okay, or 9.8, whatever. So here you can think in this way: if the object is, you know that the object is going up, any object is going up, then velocity is upward and gravity is downward. At that instant you can take, at that time it is 9.8, you can take as minus 9.8 or minus 10. Okay. but both are coming down, okay, like from the top of the tower the object has been dropped, okay, so you know that certainly you know that it is going down, okay, that means velocity is downward and gravity is downward, you know know about the motion, then you can use GH plus. But here whenever the collision is happening and the object is going up and another is coming down, we don't know how it is happening. Say it's going up and coming down, then it is hitting it. So it has changed its path. Maybe it has already reached to maximum height and coming down. Okay. Then in this case, okay, the vector approach should be used because you don't know at what point it is going to change. So in vector approach, G is always minus. Why? Because gravity ka value hota hai 10 meter per second square and it's always acting downward. It's always, whether the object is thrown in upward direction or downward direction, gravity is always in downward direction. So vector approach should be used, okay. What is the vector approach? Where you are using GH always minus 10, okay, when you don't know when the object is changing its direction or not. So I am using this as a vector quantity. So here S will be displacement, okay. So I will just write for object H, okay, from here the displacement is H itself, more precisely plus H. Why plus H? From initial point to final point, it is at higher point. Assumption I am taking. If H comes negative, then it is downward, it has collided. So plus H equal to U. What is U in this case? Initial vertical velocity, which is plus 35. Okay. And this plus sign gives you the meaning of upward or downward direction because it's at initial point its velocity is upward direction. So plus stands for upward direction, 35. T plus half into minus 10 into t square. This is always minus 10. So this is the beauty of this. G is always minus 10. Okay. Then you have to use everything as a vector quantity without knowing where the object is going up or down. So use this approach, okay, to get the answer like this. Okay. So when you don't know whether it is changing the direction or not. What about this B1? H will be 60 plus H. Okay. And here it will be plus 40t. Okay, plus minus 10t square again in this case. And you can have a look that, okay, while solving this, these two things that we have got, H is 35t and this, if you are going to add this up, okay, this is the thing that I have written. Okay, now where they are colliding at height H I have taken, and this is the equation that I have written for A and B. A and B. How to solve this equation now? Should I add them up, subtract them? What should I do? Okay. So let's see. We'll subtract this. Okay. 60. I'll just write this equation over here again. H 35t minus 5t square. And this again I'm writing as minus 5t square. Okay. So write up minus 5t square. Okay. Correct? Subtract it. Minus, minus, plus. This is cancel out. This HH cancel out. 60 equal to 5t. So t equal to 12 seconds. So this is the way to solve the question. Okay, you write two equations, solve them simultaneously to know time, t equal to 12 seconds. Let's see in 12 seconds what happens to this object. Are they in the mid-air or not? How to know? Whether they are coming in downward direction, upward direction, how to know? And later we'll come to know that this kind of question can be solved mentally. Okay, but let me write everything initially. So here, if collision is t equal to 12 seconds, and if you are going to substitute this value as 12 over here, you can see that any of them, like here H, then H is coming out to be 35 into 12 minus 5 into 12 the whole square. 12 I am taking common. Okay, 60. It's coming out to be minus. What is the meaning of this? That if they are colliding, okay, this is minus 300 meters in this case. You can check the calculation is right already. That means from here you have to go 300 meter down where the collision is happening, but at 60 meter ground ends. I mean ground will meet the ground, or this object will meet the ground. So what will happen in this case, that 300 meter it's not possible that it is colliding below the ground, because at ground the one object will come and stop. So this is not possible that they are colliding in mid-air. Okay, this is the way to find out. Okay, so what I will do that I am going to change the data. I'll change the data in such a way that they really collide in mid-air. Okay, so how to do that in this case? Okay, so you should since you have revised, you know that what is total time of flight from ground to ground is 2u by g. Directly you can use that. Okay, you should remember some certain data like velocity. If you drop root 2 gh, maximum time or time taken to reach to the highest point is u by g. Total time of flight to come down is 2u by g. So at the advanced level, you should be prepared for all this formula. You should keep in the mind in this case. If you don't have, then you just write the kinematical equation and solve. Okay. Now here, so what is happening now? Let me tell you. This is telling that the object is already gone and one object has come down at the ground, okay, already, and then they are colliding because 12-second times needed to collide. So what is happening? Their total time of flight, say for 40 seconds. If I wanted to know ground to ground, how much time does it take to go up and come down, is 2u by g. And how to prove that? It's not very difficult, as you know that s equal to ut plus half at square. And if you wanted to know how much time does it take to go from ground to ground, okay, then displacement will become 0 because it has started from ground and come to the ground, so 0, and this u is 40 into t. I'll just make it generalization, u into t minus half gt square. Why minus half gt square? It doesn't matter because I am using a vector approach, so I should not bother about whether should I use plus g or minus g. Why? Because it is changing its direction, that's why I use the vector method. So here t is common. T cannot be a zero quantity, it will take some time to come down. So 1 t equal to 0 is discarded. So u equal to u minus half gt equal to 0. So half gt equal to u. So t is 2u by g. But I request you to please remember this, okay? All this data, you don't need to solve it again and again. To reach to the highest point u by g and total time of flight is 2u by g, but this is ground to ground. You cannot use it from high tower to ground. You cannot use this formula for tower to ground. You have to then write this s as minus 60 then to solve that. Okay, no need in this case, just we are going to check with 40. So 2u by g, that means 2 into 40 by 10, 2u by g, 8 seconds. So in 8 seconds it will come to the ground. So where is the possibility that in 12 seconds they are going to collide in mid-air? 8 seconds will, okay, happen earlier, this incident will happen earlier. So this first one will come to the ground, and after that this will take some certain time and then they will collide with this. Okay, if you wanted to know how much time does it take to hit to the ground, then same formula. Okay, I think I'm repeating so many things again, but it's important, so I'm just, let me write s is minus 60. Why s is minus 60? So you don't need to break this question, okay, into 3 parts. That how much time does it take to go to the highest point, you have to solve. Then you have to find out what is the height. Then you will add the tower of the height and this height to know, okay, what is the next time. So there are 3 steps involved. First, to get the time to go to the highest point. Number 1 step, to get the height so that you can add the tower of height plus this height. And then again using formula s equal to ut plus half t square to calculate time t. You don't need to do all these 3 steps. You can solve this question in 1 step. What is the step? Vector approach. From how much time does it take from tower to ground? Use this method s. S here is minus 60. Why minus 60? Because from initial point to final point you have to come down to measure it. So that's why s is minus 60. Okay. Ultimately the object is coming down from the initial point, so minus 60 equal to u. U is called initial velocity. So go to the initial point. Here is the initial point, which is, and it is in upward direction, so this is plus 35t. So this is initial point. You should not bother that in between what is the velocity. U stand for initial velocity, which is in upward direction at a point. Okay, minus this is always half gt square. Should I write 5t square directly? G is 10. So this is the value. So this is the equation you can write to get the value, and then after that you can see that 5 is common over here. So it is coming out to be t square minus 7t minus 12 equal to 0. Okay, so you can get the value of t by solving it by quadratic equation. You know it very well. So minus b plus minus under root b square plus 4ac, which is 48, why plus? Because minus here upon 2a. This is almost 48, 49 is something like, okay, 49 you can take, approximation, okay. So I'm taking this as 49, okay, is it okay? So this becomes 49 into 2, which is equal to 7 root 2, approximation. And this is negative time is not unmeasurable because it will make time negative. So this is the value of the time, okay, it will take to hit this ground. This is approximately 9.8. Approximately everything, okay, you can use it later. 8.4 second it's coming out to be, okay. So it will take 8 seconds to reach to the ground, and from here it will take, okay, 8.4 second. So there is no such use of 12 seconds in this case, because you can see that the time taken is more than their total time of flight. This is the same data I am going to use in projectile motion, relative motion in projectile. That's why I have given this question. So let's see what is the validity of question. Validity of question: when they are colliding in mid-air, the collision time should exceed the minimum time of the total time of flight. Like here, 8 seconds, 8.4 seconds. So 8 seconds should be the, if it is lesser than 8 seconds, then collision can happen in mid-air. Okay, so out of these two, you have to take the minimum value of them, and then you can say that in mid-air it is collision is happening. Okay, is there any doubt? I can check the chat box, and then I will tell you how to solve it mentally. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Are you saying yes? We are going to learn this by relative motion, but first I need to take the valid question to solve it. Okay, so let's see the relative approach. We will use this formula. Okay, so here there are two particles A and B. Okay, so here we'll try to, at position B there is an observer which is observing the motion of these two particles. Say here B is an observer, so B is at the ground. So velocity of B with respect to B is Vv minus Vv, turning out to be 0. It's a very important point. Observer, those who, here you can see that B is an observer, so he himself, okay, try to see that, okay, that observer, that he is not moving at all. So if the stone is, so once at position B an observer is standing over there, okay, and say in case a stone is an observer, okay, so in this situation you can think like this, that the observer does not move at all, relative velocity is 0. Okay, so velocity of A with respect to A is also 0, Va minus Vv, as you know the formula, Vav is Va minus Vv, here both are same, so this is 0. So what we need to do, that here velocity of B, velocity of A with respect to B, we'll find first. Okay, so we'll write like this: S is SAB, that means, okay, so here SA minus SB, so this is called displacement of A with respect to displacement of B. B itself is always stationary because it's an observer in this case, so the latter term is known as observer in this case. You can think that B is an observer, and later you come to know how to solve it mentally. Let me write this first. SAB is SA minus SB, okay. A is moving, okay, but here it is given 35. To make this question correct, I am just taking this as 55. Okay, then we can get some certain answer over here. Okay, have a look. So In this case, SA minus SB, okay, A is moving, okay, with respect to B, but B is always stationary. So displacement from this point to this point is always minus 60. You can check whether it is going up and coming down, it doesn't matter. Okay, displacement is the shortest, okay, distance between the 2 points. So initial point and this is final point, the shortest distance between them is 60, but it is in downward direction, so this is minus 60. Okay, so you can do it mentally in this case. Okay, now UAB. Okay, so how did I explain? Did you understand what is displacement of A with respect to B? B will think that I am not moving at all. If a B is a person, you say in place of a stone, okay, I am not moving at all and only A is moving. And velocity of, and A is not moving at 35, we'll come to know here with what velocity it is moving. So A will go up maybe and it will come down, but you know that it is independent of path. Displacement is independent of path. So A is not moving and B is going up and coming down, say. But displacement is given by the shortest distance between the 2 points. So this will become minus 60 because it's coming down. Finally, it's a vector quantity. UAV is UA minus UB. Okay, initial velocity of A is plus 35 and B is, okay, plus 55 minus 20. That means B will observe that A is not moving upward by 35. It will realize that it is moving downward by 20. So you'll think that I am staying here itself, I am not moving anywhere, and that A is not going where 35 is coming down by 20 meters per second. The observation will be like this. Okay. Now, so 20 in this case. Now AAB, acceleration of A with respect to B. Acceleration of stone A is minus G, because you can write like this, AA of minus AB. AA is minus G. Why minus G? Because gravity is always negative, whether it is stone A or B. Minus of minus G. Both is 0, and this cancel out. So relative acceleration is always 0 in free body, free fall motion. You can have a look how. So this equation reduced into minus 60 equal to U as minus 20 into T. Okay, this terms becomes 0. You can have a look. Minus minus cancel out, so that implies T equal to 3 seconds. So in 3 seconds collision will, okay, happen in this case. Now how to solve it mentally? And 3 seconds is lesser than the individual time of flight. Clearly, individual time of flight we have calculated for that 8.4 I think, and this is now more than that. This will be how much? 2 into 55, I think 11 seconds. So this will be 11 seconds. So in this case, this 3 seconds is lesser than that, so they will collide in mid-air, clearly. Now how to solve this mentally? You don't need to write this step. Okay, first time I have explained that this is 0 in this case. So once that's I have written. From next time, what you have to think that I will take this anyhow. The object start from here, whatever the path, I have to take the shortest distance between them. This is the height of the tower of the height in this case, which is 60 meters. Minus sign you remove. Okay, so this will be like this here. Okay, and then this is minus 20t. Okay, so height of the tower is 60. You can see that minus minus cancel out. So you can think like this: 60 is the height of the tower. Okay, I'm not saying displacement now. And then this 20 is relative velocity between A and B. Try to take the observer on the point of the here on the ground in this case. Okay, so in this case, after 3 seconds they will collide. Okay, so mentally you have to solve like this: 60 divided by 55 minus 35, which is equal to, okay, 20. So 60 by 20 is 3 seconds. Okay, so you don't need to write all these things. So from now onwards, if I'm giving a question, you mentally solve me and solve like this. What will happen if it is opposite? If it is 55 and this is 35, you cannot use the formula. Why? Because one will become minus 60 and this will become plus t and t will become negative. So make sure that both are in negative sign. That means velocity of the downward must be more than upward. Otherwise, okay, they will not going to be collide. Is it clear? If it is from the top of the tower. So make sure that how to solve this question: height of the tower divided by relative velocity. Okay. Now next part. If I am just changing this question a little bit. okay, which you can mentally answer this, and later we will discuss whether it is colliding in mid-air, where they are colliding and what time they are colliding. What time we have already calculated. So this is tower half height, say 50 meter, and here the object is thrown with 10 meter per second, and in the same line an object has been thrown with 20 meter per second. Okay. Then will they collide? Certainly, both will collide in mid-air. There is no chance that they will, because one is upward, one is downward. So here time taken will be height of the tower 50 divided by, okay, let's see how to solve. You can check how we have taken that step here. Okay, you can have a look. This becomes minus 10 and here it becomes plus 20. Minus 10 and here it becomes plus 20, which is minus 30. And this is minus also, so minus minus cancel out. So what you need to think that 50 divided by relative velocity. Remember this. So time taken is given by height of the tower, okay, height of the tower divided by relative velocity. What is the relative velocity of this? This minus this. So 20 minus of minus 10 will make it 30. 5 by 3 seconds it will take to collide. Okay. Now this one. If this is given 10, what is the answer? So this will be 20 minus 10. Why? Because both are going plus direction. So think like this and then solve this. So always you have to take the velocity first, which is on the ground, more velocity in this case, and then they will collide in this case. Correct? Third one. What if it is 20 and this is 10? They will not collide. This will reach up to here and come down, and it will take some time to come down here. So collision will not happen in mid-air. Anyhow, you can explain like this, because here relative velocity 10 minus 20 is negative, time cannot be negative. Okay, so is it clear? All the cases I have made it clear now to you. Okay, so now I'll come back to this question. Okay, where, when, and how to solve it quickly. So if this kind of question is given to you and they are asking that where they are colliding, at what time they are colliding, answer is yes, they are colliding here. Height of the tower is 60, okay, divided by relative velocity 55 minus 35 is 20, which is 3 seconds. So this is the way to solve it mentally. In 3 seconds, okay, what is the position? You have to write one simple equation. Okay, so in 3 seconds, okay, in which way they are colliding? One is going up, one is going down. I'm telling you this now, and everything can be done mentally. So you write their velocity v equal to u plus at for this particle, say. So velocity after 3 seconds will be here 35 minus, as you know that this is all the vector form. You should not always use vector form, because you don't know whether it is going up or coming down, or it is at the highest point. So this is the best approach to solve the question once you don't know whether the object is changing the direction or not. So u is plus 35 because it's going here, and this is always minus 10 into t. T is 3, it's coming out to be plus 5. That means plus 5 means this object, when it is colliding, it is going in upward direction. And let's see B. What is happening with B? So if you wanted to write this equation for B, you have to write like this: 55, same thing, minus 10 into 3, 25. It's coming out to be 25. So it means that it is, when they are colliding, its velocity is 10 meter per second, 5 meter per second, and this velocity is 25. So both are going in upward direction. Okay, so they are colliding when both are going in upward direction. Okay, why? Because plus and plus sign is there. So both are, when going up, they are colliding somewhere. Okay, where they are colliding, they wanted to know. So this can be done mentally. Remember that, it's not very difficult. Take the height of the tower and then 35 minus 10 into time. Think like this: 55 minus 10 into time. You can solve it mentally, okay? Because many objective questions are there. You don't need to write each and every step, okay? So now, next one, at what height they are, what is the position where they are colliding? To just, you need to write here s equal to ut plus half at square. This maybe you need to write one step at least. U initial is 35 into 3. This is always minus sign, so this is minus 5. Half into minus 10 is minus 5 into t square. Okay, so solving this, we got 70 meter. So 70 meter up they are going to collide in this case. How much? 70 meter up. So this is the way, and they are, when both are going up, they are colliding. So this kind of question, how, when, where they are colliding, can be solved mentally. Is it clear? And I've told you that when they are not colliding, when the height of the tower and time becomes negative, okay, then they are not going to collide in that case. So in previous case I have given 35 and here it was 40, I think so. So we got time as 12. So you can see that when we are going to take the 12, in this case it is the total time of flight was, okay, 8.4 and 8, that is more. So that condition you need to check little bit. But generally when they are going to ask the question in advanced level, they don't want to waste your time. Okay, they will say that they are colliding in mid-air. So you don't need to check that also. Okay, so now you can, if you have any doubt, you can ask it here, so that I could give you some question based on projectile motion. Okay, so here let me read some messages. T equal to 5 is very useful. Yes, 124. So how you get 55 meter? I changed it 55 meter in the new speed. Yeah, right. I using that is given, and the previous one. Previous one I told you why it was discarded, because total time of flight of both of the object were lesser than 12 seconds. So this is one situation you need to check. Okay. Once it is coming in between, like here 3 seconds, you can, okay, certainly they are colliding in mid-air. Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of things you should remember, that this 2 point, not necessarily ground, you just think 2 points. So distance between the 2 points divided by relative velocity. Say like person is standing here, okay, and somewhere here is a window from where it is throwing the object by 30 meter per second, and another window here, and another object is from the building, it's a say throwing it up by 10 meter per second. Okay, and for this you should know what is the distance between these two floors, and it is given here as say 40 meter. I think I am giving too much, 20 meters. Okay, say like this. So they can ask here, will they collide in mid-air? Okay, so you don't need necessarily to think that it is, okay, thrown from the ground. This is point A, this is B. Okay, when they are going to collide somewhere, okay, you have to say the displacement, and displacement tide. Here you can have a look what is the displacement. So make this as an observer. Okay, 30, so height is 20, 20 divided by 30 minus 10 is 20, 1 second. So I'm telling you how to solve this question mentally. Okay, so quickly solve like this. Difference between these 2 points. So you cannot say height of the tower. Difference between, or height, distance between the 2 points, 20 divided by relative velocity is coming out to be positive, 30 minus 10. Okay, so this is 20 by 20, 1 second. Mentally we have solved 1 second, they are colliding. In 1 second, this is, let's see what is there. It is at its highest point. How to know that it is at highest point? V minus ut, like here you can use that. 10 minus 10 into 1, cancel out 0. So it is reaching to its highest point, then this particle is colliding. And its velocity here, when it is reaching to the highest point, it will stop momentarily, say particle A. But particle B will, okay, moving with a speed 30 minus 10 into 1, 20 meter per second. So at highest point, its velocity is 0, VA is 0, and VV is 20 meter per second. See, I'm doing mentally, okay? Don't ask now how you're doing that. I have already written here. So they will collide. So at highest point, it will collide in there. And what is the position? So you know that it is highest point, so you can say like this, okay, S equal to ut plus half d square, v square equal to u square plus 2s, any formula you can use, and tell me the height here. So u is 10 into t, ut from here, minus half gt square, 5 meters. So you can say that A will collide with V at, from this point at 5 meters. At that instant, A will stop, B will move, still moving in upward direction, they will collide like this. After collision, they will stick, not stick, this is not the question, okay. So here till now you can solve it mentally. Or is it clear now? And total time of flight, it's no need to check, because already we know that this is 30 minus 10, like here it's coming out to be 1 second, okay. So anyhow, they will collide in between, because here total time of flight here to here will be 1 second, 2 seconds. So it's, and this is 2 into 30 by 2, which is 60 by 2, 2u by g, 10, 6 seconds. So this will take 6 seconds, and this one, so this is between them. 2e by g, 2 by g, calculate them. So no need to worried about that, and you can write the answer directly in this case. Is it clear? So I made it clear that don't think it should be thrown from the ground, it can be thrown from anywhere. Okay. Any other question? 5 meters, 5 meters, okay. Okay. So now we can solve all those questions in SC Burma book mentally, where a coin is dropped in the elevator and you have to find the acceleration of the elevator. By this method, you don't need to write the step. You can solve it mentally, you try it at home. Okay, there is one question in SC Burma book where a coin is dropped from, I think, 6 feet. You just make sure that you are taking g as 32 feet per second square for that question, I remember. And then you can solve this question mentally like I told you. Make one elevator, the point on the elevator or floor of the elevator as observer, and you can solve this question mentally. It's so easy to solve. Okay. Next one, we'll take a question based on projectile motion. I think just a minute. It's okay. It is one of the best question of projectile motion till now. And through this question, I will add theory, so you must try. So this is a plank or table which is at 1.245 meter. This is plank P. Okay, so this is the diagram given. They have given as y and x. This is given as 3 meter. This is x-axis. Okay. Write the question, then it will be more clear. Okay. An object A is kept fixed at the point x equal to 3 meter and y equal to 1.25 meter on a plank raised on a plank P raised above the ground. At time t equal to 0, the plank starts moving. The plank starts moving along the x direction. With an acceleration 1.5 meter per second square. At the same time, A stone is projected. A stone, at the same time, a stone is projected from the origin with a velocity u, with a velocity u vector. A stationary person on the ground observes the stone hitting the object, during its downward motion. So I'll underline this because it's important. Downward motion at an angle of 45 degree to the horizontal. Okay, this is the question given. Here I am writing what you have to find. Find A part. Find u and time after which the stone hits the object. Okay, so this is the question, looking little lengthy, but actually it is not. It's a, see, let me tell you the philosophy of advanced question, that advanced questions, they don't try to give you a data which is very, very lengthy. They are very conceptual. Once you able to write all the concept or all the equation related to this, you can solve this question easily in this case. Okay, and it's a kind of mixed questions. That means your question, when you are going to solve this question, you first, my advice is like that, once you wanted to solve this question, you must attempt it. Okay, when you are attempting it, you will get confused at some point, and then if I'm going to tell you that, you will understand it better. Though you wanted an answer, you can get it anywhere. Okay, but once you're going to attempt it, okay, you'll come to know where my concept is wrong or was wrong. Okay, and then when I'm going to discuss that, you can ask that doubt and you'll understand it better. So give a good try to solve this question. Okay, and I'm giving 5 minutes for that because little bit lengthy, looking lengthy, but it's not actually. So 5 minutes is sufficient to solve this question. Okay. Preeti is asking, can you explain what is 45 degree? You know that whenever the projectile is, okay, before I attempt this question, you can listen this, what I'm saying. So it is thrown at some angle 60 degree. So as it is going up, this angle keeps on decreasing. And finally at highest point this angle becomes 0 with horizontal. 60 degree will be like 45, 30, 0. And while coming down with horizontal, its velocity, this angle keeps on increasing with horizontal. Am I right? You can check by this diagram. So this is in downward direction. So that's I have marked here. So while the object is coming down at that instant, okay, you can think that the velocity angle is in downward direction. Here it is in upward direction with the horizontal. This is downward. So the meaning is this here. Okay. You can ask if you have any doubt. You can type in chat box. I will help you. So I told you that if you wanted to learn this question, solve it, you can learn by your mistakes. Okay, you must attempt it. That's your name is Jay. That's why I asked that maybe I'm calling your parents' name. Okay, better you log in with your name, everyone. Jay. Full name? Jay what? What you write? What did I write in first part? Omkar, first part means what? Okay, Jay Goel. Okay. Omkar, let me know what is the first part here stand for. Jivitesh. Okay. I just surprise you how to speak Jiv lag. So I'm feeling little odd. Okay, Jivitesh, but someone is asking from where I am taking this lecture. Actually, I am taking this lecture from Kharghar Center. There is studio. Okay, from there I am taking. And you know that all the advanced lecture will be in online mode. Okay, so it will happen from studio. Those students who are in Kharghar, staying in Kharghar, has a benefit, added benefit that they can come to my class also. Okay, and in the same time, I will take it from the studio. Omkar, 2 root 15. No. Mayank, try it again. First para of answer. Is my YouTube name. Okay. No, Jivitesh, 3.13 is not right. First para of answer, which para of answer? I cannot understand, Omkar. Which answer you are talking about? No, Ayush, answer is not right, 2.0. No, it's not so easy. There are so much concept involved in that. Okay? Because in advance, as you know, that subjective question is being asked in the form of integer questions. So you must have a good practice of subjective questions. Danis, okay, you are from Kharghar Center. Okay, good. No, Preeti, answer is not 60t. Root 60 and root 6, no. T is 0.3 second, no. Oh, Ayusha Singh. Okay, all right. Today is my first dinner, so I don't know. Anyhow, you can write your original name. I'll try to memorize as much as it is it possible. Okay. Who else is from Kharghar Center? You can type your name. No, 2 root 15 is not right. Are you seeing? Okay. Danis. Arif. Okay. On the batch. Okay. Omkar More on. Okay. Mehul. So yes, have you seen me? Okay. Yeah, I took lectures in Panvel Center, at Panvel Center. No, I don't teach at Borivali. Snehal. Snehal 50 by 4. Yeah, you are right. Snehal, your answer is right. Danis from Kharghar Center and from Pune. Dipto. Dipto, where are you from? Harsh Dhaval, Thane Center, okay. Actually, I'm teaching now everywhere, right? Through studio, it doesn't matter which location you are. No, I don't teach at Thane Center. Generally, I'm in Navi Mumbai. Thakur village, okay. Jivitesh is from Thakur village, okay. Dipto, okay. No, Prabhjit, I don't teach from NCR studio, from Kharghar studio. And there is one more studio in Mumbai, is in Borivali. Okay, now attempt this question, please. Okay, because you should try this now. Ayusha from Vashai. Okay, good, good. Snehal, did you solve this question before? Because you got your answer very quickly. Though I feel that this question was a little tough. You just solved it now. Mm, 7.29. I need to check. You find the vector form. Yes, Neil is good. So Yeah. Nikhil, you can get the x component of velocity and y component of velocity separately, and so type it over here. Yes, Nehal. So what do you think about this question? Was it good? Some concepts are involved. Actually, in this question, yeah, Priyal Patil, okay. Actually, Snehal, in this question, one very important concept is minus 45 degree. I mean, I think all the students would take care of that because it's hitting while coming downward. Yeah, correct. It's not very lengthy, Priyal Patel. Nikhil, did you get the x and y component of velocity? Type it over here. Priyal, I'm saying that it's not lengthy question. It's a different question, conceptual question. JEE Advanced never gives lengthy question. Yeah, okay. Good, good. Yeah. So what I'm going to tell you is how to solve any question which looks little tough at the first sight, okay, is just writing one equation, s equal to ut plus half a t square. Start with that. Okay, you'll get the idea how to solve this kind of question. Why? Because height is given 1.25, 3 meter, horizontal distance is given. So s equal to ut plus half a t square, s stand for, okay, displacement in horizontal and vertical direction. So any question, okay, if you wanted to solve, okay, you need to start with this equation most of the time. Let's see. Okay, first thing that here u is given, okay. Here velocity, I am taking speed as u and this angle is theta. So I have to find out u cos theta and nu sin theta. Then the vector form will be u will be u cos theta I cap plus u sin theta j cap. So it's like this, we need to find out. So here S, you need to apply this in vertical direction, where S is, okay, where S is, okay, vertical, okay, displacement. So let me tell you what is happening in this case, that the object that is being thrown, it hits here somewhere. So I'm making a dotted line here. This is object A has moved from here to here, and while hitting, this is making angle 45 with the horizontal in downward direction. So this is a diagram, rough diagram, okay. So displacement is the shortest distance between these two in vertical direction you have to apply. So you can see that this is the displacement here to here, and this is called vertical displacement and this is called horizontal displacement. So apply this equation in vertical direction, and what is vertical S stand for, okay. So between initial point to final point, what is the vertical height? So this vertical height is always 1.25. This is 1.25 and it is plus 2.25. Why? Because from initial point to final point where the collision is taking place between these two, okay, is, okay, 1.25 plus, because it's above the initial point. U stand for, how will you read this? Initial vertical velocity. So don't write the speed, it's not a speed. You have to speak like this or you have to read like this. Initial, later you will be in habit to write directly, okay, but let me read it correctly. Initial vertical velocity or vertical displacement is plus 2.5. Initial vertical velocity, because I am using here vertical word. So go to the initial point and check what is initial vertical velocity, it u sin theta. So this is u sin theta t, and since it is a vector form, so you should not worry about g is always minus half gt square. Directly 5t square I could have written that. So this is equation number 1 in vertical direction. You can have a look. Correct? Now this is 3 meters. Okay. So when the object is going to hit this, okay, initially it is given that, okay, it's moving with some velocity. Okay, let me check that. Okay. So say it's when it's going to hit that object here, I mean say velocity u sin theta is there. So here it is 45 and it has also a downward velocity here. So let me tell you how much is this velocity stand for. Okay. So just a minute. Okay. So it travels 3 meters before hitting that, so you can write that equation also. So what is the equation in this case? 3 plus, okay, let me tell you. I hope this equation is clear to you. Now I'm going to write same equation in horizontal direction. Okay. So this is 3 plus, already this distance is 3, and this distance will be how much starting from rest, and acceleration here is given as, okay, 1.5, okay, it's mentioned over there. So it's accelerating with 1.5 meter per second square, it's given from the rest. So this is total distance. If you see from initial point to final point, this is called horizontal distance. Already it is at 3 plus distance travel in next time, that is ut plus half at square. So it is 1. So this is this. How much is this? U cos theta into t. Okay. Check this. Why I am not writing here half at square? A in horizontal direction is 0. A horizontal is 0 here. So I am not writing here. So for projectile motion, you know that this horizontal distance is given by horizontal velocity into time. There is no acceleration. So u cos theta into t. Okay. A is 0 here. Okay. And this is for a given data. Initially 3 and later this object has moved by with an acceleration 1.5. So this is equation number 2. 3 plus 0.75, if you want to write, you can write like this. Now most important equation is third one here. Tan 45 actually is tan minus 45. Why? Because it's in clockwise direction. You can see from here to here it's in clockwise. So it's minus tan 45. Anyhow, you know that it's vertically downward, that's why minus sign. Vy by Vx. Vy by Vx. So here you know that in projectile motion, horizontal velocity does not change at all at any point. If it is u cos theta, so at every point it will be u cos theta. So this will be also u cos theta. So this is Vx, Vx equal to u cos theta. Here Vy will be, so I am keeping the value of Vx as u cos theta. So Vy will be u cos theta into minus 1. Tan minus 45 is minus tan 45, which is minus 1. So minus Vy u cos theta. This is very important equation, you should write. So now we know that here velocity is minus u cos theta. After writing this, I am writing here. Correct. So this we have written. Now we need to know here that how to solve it further. Okay. So we will write how much, we know that now final vertical velocity, initially it was u sin theta and now it has become minus u cos theta after certain time t. So the third equation that goes, okay, this you could have done mentally. Remember this 145 there and downward, u cos theta and magnitude y it is same, but here it is minus sign, you can check. So this here at this step, okay, you can save your time. Quickly you can write here. If 45, then horizontal velocity is equal to vertical velocity. Here is the proof y. And minus sign means it is downward direction. This is third equation, v equal to u plus at. Final vertical velocity is minus u cos theta. If you are not writing minus, then you will not get the right answer. Minus u cos theta, because it's a vector sign. You can check here I have written. Initial is here u sin theta minus gt. This is always 10 t. This is equation 3. I am not considering that equation 3, this one. Okay. So you can count, okay, how many unknowns are there? U sin theta, u cos theta and t. So there are 3 equations that I have written. Okay. So now this can be solved. So how to solve it? Let me tell you. Okay. Here you can check that 3 plus 0.75 t square u cos theta into t. Okay. So here u cos theta, if I multiply this, I want to substitute the value over here as theta in this case, t in this case. So how to solve this equation using that? So any equation you can use, but make sure that if you wanted to get the time, you have to get rid of this u cos theta, and u cos theta value is given over here. You can substitute it over here. So I'm going to do that. So this is the step. 3 plus 0.75 t square, this one equation 2, u cos theta from here. What is the value of u cos theta? You bring u cos theta this side, it will become plus, 10t will become plus and minus u sin theta. So I am writing like this, u cos theta as 10t minus u sin theta. I am going to substitute it here, okay, in equation 2. This becomes 10t square minus u sin theta t. Okay. Now, what is u sin theta t? Because we have to get rid of, we have to bring all the terms in terms of t. So equation number 1 can be used here. So what is u sin theta into t here? You can check from equation number 1. So what is our idea? I am converting each and every terms, okay, in terms of t to calculate t. This is constant, no need to change. This is t square, so I am writing like this. U cos theta I try to change, okay, but here another term is there, u sin theta. So I am taking the help of equation number 1. And what is u sin theta in this case? You can bring it here. So it will become now from equation 1, okay, u sin theta t, just underline it, okay, will become 1.25 plus 5t square. Check what I have done. So think like this, equation number 2, 3 plus 0.70 t square, replace u cos theta by 10t minus u sin theta into t, and later u sin theta t from equation number 1, you can write 1.25 plus 5t square. Now you can see that everything is in terms of t. So this could be solved. So this is the way to solve in this question. Okay. So 3 equations, 3 unknowns. There are many ways to solve. This is one of them. I have explained. You can solve it by your own method. Okay. So now after writing this, I think I should rub this diagram. Here we will write 3.75 t square equal to 10t square minus 1.25 minus 5t square. Okay. So this becomes now 3 plus 1.25, 4.25. This becomes 20 minus 5t square, 5 point. Okay. 5 minus 5t square minus 0.75t square. Okay, check. This will go 10t square minus 5t square is 5t square minus 0.75t square. This becomes 4.25 equal to 4.25t square. So t square equal to 1. So t cannot be negative quantity, so take plus 1 second. Okay. So after 1 second, it's going to collide in this case. Okay, quickly we will complete this. Okay, t equal to 1 second. Now, what is u in this case? Okay, u. To calculate u, you need to calculate u cos theta. So substitute the value in equation number 2. Equation 2. What is equation 2? 3 plus 0.75 into 1 the whole square. Just substitute the time as 1. U cos theta into 1. So u cos theta I am getting here is 3.75. And similarly, you can substitute the value over here to get the u sin theta. Okay, or here also anywhere, because you know u cos theta. Here also you can use. So here u sin theta will be equal to, from here u sin theta will be equal to 10t minus u cos theta, 10 into 1 minus u cos theta we have just calculated 3.75. So this becomes now 6.25. So u sin theta is 6.25. So now this question is solved. The final answer u is 3. U cos theta is where? Here. 3.75 I cap plus 6.25 j cap. This is a vector form and t is 1 second. Okay, so next time we don't have so much time today to take all those questions. That's why I've kept 2 lectures, kinematics. Okay, next time we will see relative motion in that one, projectile motion. But before that, I wanted to give one question as homework. Okay, you can note it down. And this question is very, very conceptual. And you need to think differently to solve this question. Okay. Even you try to search the solution in internet, maybe you are not going to get it. You have to think by your own. So here is the question that I am going to give you related to kinematics. And this question is from Irodov, I.E. Irodov book. That is a famous Russian writer, physics book. Okay, and it's considered the toughest question of kinematics. Okay, so here is a question as a homework. Okay. Homework. Okay. Let's say this is okay. So this is a very famous cat and dog problem where a dog is chasing cat, okay, in such a way that, okay, cat or a dog are in the same straight line. Okay, so it's like this. If a dog is moving, dog will not move on this line. Dog will always try to face cat in this case. So if cat is moving with u velocity here, say it has reached, example, C, then dog at that moment wherever it is facing to it here like this. So as this dog is moving, cat is moving to your right hand side, this dog keeps on moving in this way, such a way that it is always facing to cat. Anyhow, I'm going to write the question, you will understand it. So this is homework, no need to solve now. Just write it down. A cat start running. A cat start running at constant speed u along line OX. Oh, this is O mentioned, this is X. OX at t equal to 0. At the same time, a dog located at a point A, this is A, point A, starts running with constant speed v. So this is u and this is v, cat speed, where v is greater than u is mentioned. Dog runs in such a way that its velocity vector is always heading towards cat. Find the time after which dog will catch the cat. Similar question is given in S.C. Verma book, where three particles are located at the vertices of a triangle and they are facing towards each other, and finally they meet at centroids. It's a solved question of S.C. Verma book. Similarly here, okay, so that has a different trick to solve the question, as you know that relative velocity is required. Okay, here it's totally different, because here only cat is moving and dog is moving. So if cat is moving like this, dog has to move in such a way that they, okay, always facing to the cat. So you have to think in this way. So it's a curved line and this is straight line. They are moving in that way, okay, and they will meet somewhere here. So you need to draw the diagram and make sure that velocity vector is always directed towards that. So I'm not expecting you at least to solve this and give me the right answer. I wanted you to at least give a try, okay, so that if I am going to discuss this question next time, okay, you could understand it better. Okay, so one or two questions in my lecture will be like this, which is out of the box thinking. Okay, like this. Next time also I'll give you one question based on projectile, which you need at least a week to solve that question. Okay, but it's not necessary to solve. To solve this, because this kind of question rarely come in JEE Advanced, but they are conceptual in this case. So I wanted to share this question with you. I like that question. When I'm preparing for IIT, that time I come across this question. I took at least first time I started solving, I couldn't solve it. Second time again I'm thinking, couldn't solve it. And later while solving one mathematical question, I got the idea. And then later I was able to solve that, because that time no solution was available. No one is to help me. So I have to think by my own. But anyhow, you can think about that. You can discuss this question with me. If you have any doubt, okay, you can send a message to me also on Telegram. I will try to answer it. Okay. So today that is, I think now time is 7:22. Okay, so class is over now. We'll meet next time, next Thursday. Okay, see you then. Bye.